Okay, let me ask you something. What are you having for dinner tonight? I know, it sounds like a pretty simple, everyday question. But what if I told you that that very choice, repeated over and over, could literally be the difference between where you are financially right now and having an extra $630,000 in the bank? Yeah, today we're going to unpack how one of the most common daily decisions we all make is secretly one of the biggest financial choices of our lives.
$630,000. I mean, just let that number sink in. It sounds kind of impossible, right? How can a few takeout orders possibly add up to the cost of a house? Well, I promise you, it's not magic. It's just simple math with a really, really powerful secret ingredient. And we're going to break it all down.
So, to get our heads around this, let's meet two people. Marcus, our home cook, and Derek, our delivery app user. You know these people. Marcus, he plans his meals, he goes to the grocery store, he fires up the stove. And then there's Derek. After a long day, he just pulls out his phone, a few taps, and boom, dinner is at his door. There are two incredibly common paths, right? But as we're about to see, they lead to wildly different destinations.
All right, so first up, the tale of two dinners. Let's really get into the daily math here and see exactly where this massive number gets its start.
Okay, let's start with Marcus. A well-planned, home-cooked meal costs him about $5. Just $5. That's our baseline. It's the foundation of this whole story.
And now, let's look at Derek's reality. The average delivered meal, after the food cost, all the fees, the tip, comes out to around $23. That is more than 4 times the cost of cooking at home. The difference is just immediate and stark.
And that right there is the key. Every single time Derek orders in instead of cooking, he's spending an extra $18. Now, $18, it doesn't sound like a life-changing amount of money, does it? You might spend that on lunch without even thinking. But this little number, this simple daily difference, that's the tiny seed that's going to grow into our giant $630,000 tree.
So, before we watch that seed grow, let's ask a bigger question. Why is this choice so common? I mean, this isn't about being lazy. This is about being part of a massive economic shift that's happening all around us. Let's call it the convenience economy trap.
Yep, welcome to the convenience economy. You know it well. It's the world of DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, the whole shebang. We are constantly being sold this really compelling idea. Pay a little extra, and you can get back your most valuable asset, your time. And honestly, it's an incredibly tempting offer, which makes Derek's choice feel not just easy, but totally normal.
And this slider right here shows you just how normal it's become. For the first time in history, Americans are now spending the majority of their food budget, 55%, on food they eat away from home. Cooking is actually no longer the default option.
Just think about that for a second. This is not some long-standing trend. This is a recent, record-breaking cultural shift. We are living in the absolute peak era of convenience, and our bank accounts are quietly paying the price for it.
Okay, on to part 3. How small savings snowball. It's time to connect that little $18 daily decision to that enormous 6-figure outcome. And the bridge that gets us from one to the other is one of the most powerful forces in finance, compound interest.
So here's the roadmap. It's actually pretty simple. It starts by saving that $18 difference, say 4 times a week, just like Derek. Annually, that adds up to over $3,700. But here is the most crucial step. You don't just save that money, you invest it. Consistently. You put it to work in something like a low-cost index fund, and then you just let it do its thing over the long haul. We're talking 30 years here.
And there it is, the $630,000 result. It's not a trick. It's just a small, consistent habit combined with the absolutely incredible power of time and compound growth. So what's the big lesson here? In our final section, let's talk about your kitchen table payoff. Is the takeaway that you should feel guilty and never order takeout again? No, not at all. The real point is to understand the hidden, massive power of our seemingly small daily habits. This whole story really just illustrates 3 powerful truths. First, that the smallest, most automatic choices we make every day can have the largest impact on our lives over time. Second, that the true cost of convenience isn't that $5 delivery fee. It's the hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential growth that you're giving up. And finally, that building real wealth isn't about some big lucky break. It's about small, consistent actions repeated relentlessly year after year. So I'll just leave you with this question to chew on. We've just broken down the dinner decision, right? But what about that daily $5 coffee? Or the streaming service you barely even use?
Or that subscription box you keep forgetting to cancel? What other small, seemingly harmless choices in your life are compounding every single day? For better or for worse? The answer to that question could be worth a fortune.